Fantastic, seemingly impossible, incredible. Adventure, a remarkable occurrence in one's personal history, a stirring experience. This is the chronicle of Walterboro High School's Band of Blue fantastic adventure to the 105th Tournament of Roses Parade.
The fundraising effort for this trip was a massive effort, headed up by David Williamson and by many of the parents in the Booster Club and in the steering committee. It took us 14 or 15 months to raise the $250,000 that we spent on the students going on the trip, and we did almost everything you can imagine was done to raise money, from washing cars to selling candy, selling fruit, writing corporate sponsors, writing charitable foundations, individual donations from just people here, donations from as small as $2 from people who read an article in the newspaper to $100 from ladies in nursing homes in other parts of the state to $1,000 from local businessmen who just wanted to help, and then even larger contributions from some of the corporations and industries located here.
These are some of the more than 250 young boys and girls you can be very proud of. Members of one of the finest high school bands in the world, the Walterboro Band of Blue. They've been invited to march for South Carolina in the January Tournament of Roses, one of 8 in the country to receive this honor. They're working hard to raise the money and they need your help. So send your donation in any amount to this address. Let's show these young people how proud we are. Let's join together and help the Walterboro Band of Blue march for all of us in the Tournament of Roses.
The dream is no longer a dream.
Right.
It's real.
With those words, 335 students and adults began their adventure by boarding buses for Atlanta. This trip to the West Coast was not yet a bed of roses. This 5-hour-plus trip on the first leg to Atlanta was more a bed of bus seats. At least we're heading in the right direction, and all arrived in Atlanta, including the luggage. There was a short subway trip to the right terminal, and soon we were ready to fly. There was no question the trip was well organized. Planes were ready, and although many were boarding for various connections, eventually all would arrive safely in the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. Weary but still intact, luggage and all, we arrived by bus from Los Angeles International to our new home for the next 6 days. The Marriott in Irvine. When you're checking in over 300 people, it takes a while. Eventually and efficiently, with check-in complete, a search for rooms began. To lie down, maybe a short nap, but that was not to be. A brief reminder from Mr. Young had eliminated that possibility.
I know you're tired, and after we practice, we'll feel better. We won't feel as tired.
Wow. Are we having fun yet? After a short trip to Irvine High School Stadium for the first practice session, you feel a little more at home and setup procedures begin. Maybe we're not as tired as we thought. After all, this was practice for BandFest. And BandFest chairman Lance Tibbett welcomed the Band of Blue to Los Angeles.
It's my pleasure to welcome you here to Southern California. It's a great deal of work and effort on all of your parts. We realize that. We appreciate it. We appreciate the effort of Mr. Young and all the assistants and band boosters. And I can't tell you how excited we are to have you here. It's a fantastic adventure for all of you. The parade is going to be great. We have beautiful weather lined up for you. BandFest is a lot of fun. There are going to be some other wonderful bands there for you to see and compare yourselves to. And I just want you to have a safe and enjoyable stay here in Southern California. And thank you for being part of our parade.
Now the work begins. Bandfest practice went well. There was newfound energy, and it was needed. The band didn't miss a beat from the field to the track for the Tournament of Roses parade rehearsal. Early the next day, breakfast was down, and so was the Band of Blue, down in the Marriott parking lot for more rehearsals. 7 a.m. wasn't too early for us. Hopefully, the other hotel guests felt the same way. A break, instruments aside, a tour of Los Angeles. The skyline was a little different from Waldoboro. Actually, a lot different. It was good to get off the buses and stroll through downtown L.A., especially walking along Olvera Street. This was the original settlement of what now has become one of the nation's largest cities. The people, the shops, the atmosphere of downtown was fun for everybody. But it was just a sample of a very busy day. This next bus ride was heading for Hollywood, Tinseltown, USA. You couldn't miss those famous landmarks. First stop, the Hollywood Bowl. It's a magnificent sight, home of some of the world's finest performances, from Streisand to Springsteen, rock concerts to great philharmonics. They were all here. Then there was the Walk of Fame, stars of the stars along the sidewalks of Hollywood. And Mann's Chinese Theater, handprints, footprints, and even hoofprints. Who was this Marie Chevalier, someone asked. After lunch at the famous Farmers Market next to Television City, home of CBS Hollywood, the next stop will be Beverly Hills. And when you think of Beverly Hills, it's not only the stars you think of, it's Rodeo Drive. Hope you didn't leave home without your American Express. You'll need it here. No thanks, just looking. Tired yet? Better muster up plenty of energy. You're at Knott's Berry Farm. This will wake you up. A day at Knott's Berry Farm is a must for any visitor to L.A., and everybody scattered in all directions to enjoy this great fantasy land. As the sun set on the Band of Blue and evening turned to darkness, there was another sight to see. The dancing waters of Knott's Berry Farm. Of course, you can't end the day hungry, and we didn't. How many in your party, sir? Oh, about 300. A new day begins for the group. How would you like to have this job, waking up about 200 students?
All right, guys.
Oh, man.
Good morning. Who's under the covers?
Mike.
Mike.
That's me, baby.
All right. Get up. Let's go.
This is one of the days we've been working for, loading up with uniforms and instruments for a 7:15 a.m. departure to Pasadena. Over 200 young people from Waldoboro, South Carolina are here at Pasadena Community College for Bandfest.
The Tournament of Roses Association invites 4 of the participating bands to present a field exhibition in Bandfest at Pasadena City College. And we were lucky enough to be one of the 4 that they invited this year. So we did our contest show, which we used for state competition this year.
was no question the Walterboro Band of Blue was well received. No doubt these South Carolina youngsters deserve to be center stage. Here with the spectacular band from Spartanland, Lafayette, Louisiana, the Red Raiders Marching Band from Hawaii, and the Willow Ridge Mighty Eagle Band from Houston. And even though you may not have been in Pasadena to watch the Band of Blue proudly receive their just reward, WCSC Television brought it home to South Carolina by satellite.
Okay, we got 5 minutes. We're going to do a live news back to Charleston. Follow me. Here we go. It's tough being in the limelight, folks.
Start tight, pull out.
Do a minute 30, minute 40.
When you think of the New Year's, you think of champagne, the Tournament of Roses Parade, the Tournament of Roses Parade.
And the Tournament of Roses Parade. Speaking of that, our own Bill Walsh, who was here in the studio last night with me at 11 o'clock giving the weather, is now all across the country in Pasadena. Bill, how's the weather out there?
Bill, I've got to tell you, the weather is spectacular. It's about 75 degrees, and I am with the Band of Blue from Walterboro, and the folks in the Low Country need to be proud of this band because they just performed unbelievable. I want you to say hi. They've got a special hello for everybody in the Low Country. Hi, Pasadena! Pasadena, California, right here in Los Angeles. Absolutely gorgeous.
For the first time for most, a glimpse of the Rose Bowl is on the schedule. Not for the game, but for the official band photo. No time to waste. Line everybody up and get the shot.
2, 3. You want the Rose Bowl in the background? 1, 2, 3.
There were a few weary groans when the band was told they were going to see how the parade floats were constructed. But those groans turned to grins. In fact, all were in awe at the behind-the-scenes look at these fantastic displays of art. A sight to be remembered. All work and no play? Not today. We're visiting one of the world's finest, the San Diego Zoo. Rested and excited, this trip was enjoyed by all. There isn't much that jumps, flies, or crawls that fits in the animal category that you can't see here. It was a relaxing day of taking in the sights and taking lots of pictures. It would be easy to spend a couple of days at the San Diego Zoo. And even though we were on a tight schedule, we took a little extra time. You get the feeling a lot of the group will have this great zoo on their list of things to do again someday. Almost 100 miles from San Diego back to the Marriott parking lot and back to reality. After all, tomorrow is the Tournament of Roses Parade, and we must be ready. We will be ready. After practice, some Wisconsin fans were yelling from the parking lot and the balcony.
Go on, Wisconsin!
Did he say, do we know on Wisconsin? Know it? It sounds a lot like our fight song. This was New Year's Eve, and a great party was held for all. It was a good time, laughing, dancing, talking about tomorrow's big event. There was a big screen TV that covered the celebration and countdown to the New Year from New York. That worked out real well. Midnight in New York was 9 p.m. in Los Angeles. We had to hit the sack early. breakfast would be at 3 a.m. as we would prepare for the main event, the Tournament of Roses Parade. It was a cold awakening and still dark as the group arrived at the staging area. Plastic was being passed out in big quantity.
We keep warm this way.
As the sun slowly brightened the horizon in Pasadena, California, all the last-minute preparations were being made. The clock was ticking. The time was near for an experience of a lifetime. There was no way to imagine the grueling march that lay ahead for this group. All the years of practice, all the games and parades could not compare to what was going to take place this New Year's Day, 1994. The crowds were beginning to gather. Over 1 million people would line the route. Media from around the world were making last-minute preparation to send their signal to over 400 million viewers. This was it. The 105th Tournament of Roses Parade. William Shatner, Captain Kirk himself, led the way as Grand Marshal. The Queen and her court passed in review. The world's most beautiful floats, one after the other, was a dazzling display of fine art. And our moment in the sun, the Walterboro High School Band of Blue. This is the way we looked and sounded to the spectators along the parade route. This is the way it was described to millions by Joe Garagiola and Marshall Warfield on NBC.
Walterboro, South Carolina comes the Walterboro High School's Band of Blues. This smart-looking band is a 6-time state championship winner. The Band of Blues performed in the Orange Bowl Parade, the inauguration of former President Jimmy Carter, South Carolina's past 3 gubernatorial inaugurations, and Mardi Gras.
South Carolina is the home of our new Miss America, isn't it?
That's right. And I'll tell you what, I'll bet Walterboro is closed today with the VCRs going to get this band, and I don't blame them.
Nobody's VCRs is blinking 12 today.
It was over. A proud moment that has produced memories that would last a lifetime.
Long parade. I don't see how the kids did it. I don't think I could have played as much as they did today. Still sounded pretty good at the end.
A long parade indeed. A long 6 days. Everybody felt it physically, but spirits were high.
The feeling, it was like we were running on empty in our bodies, but our minds were just going wild.
The end of the parade, I felt very relieved. It was a very long parade, and we were very tired, and being at attention for 5.5 miles was kind of rough, and we were really pleased to just let loose.
I felt proud. I felt real proud being that, we're the only band from this area, to be chosen from this area to go to California to march.
I think in a few years, and we'll be able to put it all in perspective, and as we get further away from the trip, we're able to put it more and more in perspective. It's not something that, it's not a task that I would have taken on for myself for any reason, but it was an opportunity for these children that I didn't feel like we could let pass up. And from the very beginning, I believed that we could make the trip, and David Williamson believed that we could make the trip, and we had a number of parents and students that believed we could make this happen, and we did. And it was a great opportunity, both educationally and socially, and from a publicity standpoint for our students and for our town, for our school. I don't know that in terms of things that you could do in high school, that there are many things that would be bigger than being able to say, when I was in high school, I marched in the Tournament of Roses parade.
And the Walterboro High School Band of Blue marches on.